Hello, thank you for listening. This is the near death experience of Lynnda, and Lynnda's experience occurred on January the 7th of 2018 and was documented on February 26th of 2018. So, January 7, 2018, February 26, 2018, it should be interesting. Open quote. While suffering with a bad case of the flu, I was lying on the couch when suddenly everything went black. Soon after, I found myself floating at one end of a large, dark room, similar to a church or old library, with no books or windows that I could see. Off to my left, there was a robe or some sort of ivory gown hanging or floating on a hanger. The hanger wasn't connected to anything, it was just suspended there. I immediately realized that I was in absolutely no pain at all. It was a wonderful feeling that I'll never forget. During this time, there were wisps floating that were similar to butterflies and going past me on either side. The wisps on my right seemed to have some sort of significance, but I have no idea what it was. Soon after this, I found myself in some sort of squarish bubble. I could see the rainbow effect of it on the walls, but everything around it and outside of it was black. When I looked down, I noticed that I was wearing a white gown and realized at that time that I was dead. I remember commenting to myself, I'm dead. I really am dead. But it didn't matter to me at all. It seemed that everything I looked at in this darkness I could see quite plainly. I soon realized that the soft light of it seemed to be coming from me. I also felt a comforting hand on my right shoulder. I had no desire or reason to turn around to see who or what it was. It just wasn't necessary. Other than the hand on my shoulder, I was totally alone, and there was no dialogue. During this time, I knew that I was traveling forward at what seemed like a normal speed in the dark of space. It felt like I was in outer space, but there were no stars or planets. After a while, I had no concept of time. I began feeling a bit apprehensive. I thought, I need to go back. I need to go back. Immediately, I found myself awake and back on my couch. This has had a great effect on me, and I think about it all the time. After I was over the flu and feeling well enough, I told a good friend about it, and she thought that I had been touched by the hand of God. I had no idea for sure what it was. She said to ask for a sign. After a few weeks, I decided to do as she said and ask. While lying in bed one night going over what had happened, as I do every night, I did ask for a sign. I asked several times throughout the night, and at some point during that time, I felt an overwhelming bout of vertigo or dizziness. Then I saw a white flash over my left eye. It was a brilliant white flash and resembled a beautiful waterfall with greenery all around it, only it wasn't really a waterfall, but rays of brilliant light. It only lasted a split second, but I'm sure it was the sign I was looking for. I've never seen anything like it before or after. For several days after my NDE, I had a feeling of an aura around me that slowly disappeared. I have no fear of dying now, and I know that when my day comes, it will be peaceful and painless. After this happened, I felt like I wanted to tell everyone I knew that dying would be a good experience, but kept my thoughts to myself, other than telling a few close friends. Telling my story, I have found, is exhausting. End quote. Lynnda. Wow. That was a crazy experience there. I felt that it was kind of neat when you said that you felt the comforting hand on your right shoulder, but had no desire to turn around to see who or what it was. It wasn't even necessary. What a feeling. Pretty cool. There are some questions. Um, your highest level of consciousness. Answer the feeling of being totally pain-free was exhilarating. I wanted to stay that way, but at the same time, it soon seemed normal. Question, when were you at your highest level of consciousness and alertness? Answer, while I was in the bubble. I knew I was dead, and I was okay with it. Also, feeling the hand on my shoulder was comforting in a strange way. Question, comparing your vision. Answer, the only difference was when I looked at the robe or gown in the beginning. It was difficult to completely make out exactly what it was. Question, did you pass into or through a tunnel? Answer, uncertain. I know that everything was dark around me during my travel time, but never really felt like it was a tunnel. And what another great part, Lynnda, to your story was when you realized the light. She says, I soon realized that the soft light of it seemed to be coming from me. That's pretty neat. Question, did you seem to enter some other unearthly world? Answer, I started out in a large, dark hall of some sort, and then found myself in some sort of bubble, floating through space in the dark. Question, what emotions did you feel during the experience? Answer, a bit of confusion at first, not knowing where I was, but I soon became accustomed to it. I only felt apprehensive at the end because I couldn't figure out where we were going. I almost wished I had continued on to see where I was going. Might have an idea here where you were going. Question, did you come to a border or point of no return? Answer, while floating through dark space, I became a bit apprehensive about where I was going. I couldn't see an end, so I decided that I wanted to come back. Question, what was your religion prior to your experience? Answer, unaffiliated, agnostic. Question, have your religious practices changed since your experience? Answer, yes. I'm part of a life group at my friend's church, but not a church member. I want to learn more about all of this. I'm finally grasping the purpose of Jesus, not as a God, but as a wonderful spiritual being. Question, what is your religion now? Answer, unaffiliated, agnostic. Question, did your experience include features consistent with your earthly beliefs? Answer, both consistent and inconsistent. I'm not exactly sure how to answer this question. Question, did you have a change in your values and beliefs because of your experience? Answer, yes, I feel there is a purpose to my experience, whether it's to help people understand death or what. I don't know yet. Question, did you seem to encounter a mystical being or presence or hear an unidentifiable voice? Answer, I knew that I wasn't ever alone. In the beginning, there were the wisps going by me, and then afterward, I knew there was someone or something with their hand on my shoulder. There was no conversation at all. I sensed their presence. Question, during your experience, did you gain information about the existence of God? Answer, uncertain. I knew that I wasn't alone at any time. I felt the hand on my shoulder during my travels that felt comfortable. I have no idea what or who was with me, though. Question, during your experience, did you gain information about an afterlife? Answer, an afterlife definitely exists. Yes, I realized I was dead and thought it to myself a few times. There was nothing to prevent me from feeling this way. Question, what life changes occurred in your life after your experience? Answer, moderate changes. I have always been a fairly spiritual person, but since my experience, I feel so much more so and want to learn more about how to become more spiritual, although not necessarily religious. I believe there is a distinct difference. Question, have your relationships changed specifically because of your experience? Answer, yes. I'm finding that I don't want to waste time with people who think they are the center of the universe. I am speaking my mind more than ever, not to hurt anyone, but to be heard. Question, was the experience difficult to express in words? Answer, yes. It's almost impossible to explain a total lack of pain to someone. All I can say is it was like having a brand new, still on the shelf body. Also, the fact that what was a soft light seemed to be coming from me and not anywhere else. It was only wherever I looked in the darkness that there was light. Neat. How accurately do you remember the experience in comparison to other life events that happened around the same time? Answer, I remember it more accurately. I remember it completely in every sense. I replay it over and over in my mind daily and nightly. Nothing has ever compared to this experience. There's no psychic, non-ordinary, or other special gifts. Question, have you ever shared this experience with others? Answer, yes. I told a good friend about it about a week or so after it happened. Then I told her church life group, which was thankfully small that night. Everyone I told seemed to be very understanding. Only one person has not really reacted either way to it. He merely listened and let it go. Question, what did you believe about the reality of your experience? Answer, was definitely real. I couldn't figure out at first why it happened to me. I felt I had been chosen to see life after death, but no idea why. I can only say it was the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me. I truly wish everyone could have this extraordinary experience. I would love to go back to it, but no, I have to wait my turn. Question, is there anything else you would like to add about your experience? Answer, I know it sounds strange, but I feel like I was given a gift of knowing a small piece of life after death. If I can help someone else get through a tough time of dealing with it, then it will have even more meaning. End quote. End questions. Thank you, Lynnda. Appreciate your story. I've definitely enjoyed it. And thank you out there for listening. Have a great day.